All right, what's going on, Chase?
What's going on, man?
Another beautiful.
Finally got it.
Yeah, no worries. Finally got the schedule to work out. Sorry for earlier today, but looks like it's gonna work out.
No, you're good. It kind of helped, honestly, because we got a rush of tires right after it was like during lunch break. So all the Superbike guys and everything were like changing tires. We probably had like 20 sets
So
at the
you're at
time. So,
Moto right now for the Moto America test.
yep, it's Warhorse, Yamaha, and Indians out here right now.
Oh, nice. Got some baggers.
And yep. And then there's a Ducati hooligan out here. I have no idea who's riding it, but one of my buddies is helping mechanic on it. So,
Nice. Very good. Well, welcome to the EricSwahnRacing.com podcast, episode 136 with Chase Black. So thanks for coming on and talking to me for about an hour or so today.
oh, no problem, man. I got nothing else to do anyway. I'm probably gonna play iRacing if I'm not doing this.
Perfect.
So,
So tell everybody for people who don't know you yet, but they will soon. Tell me about your racing career. Start from the beginning. I know you've been racing for like the majority of your life.
yeah, pretty much. Like, dad was a big motocross guy. He rode supercross, motocross, like qualified for nationals. He didn't make a main event in supercross though. He made the heat races in the night show, but he couldn't make the main event. But I got into motocross when I was 2.5 and just nothing serious, just like riding all the time, that kind of thing. Dad was still like doing motocross, trying not to hurt himself. But um when did I start? I think I was 10 when I started road racing. I kind of quit dirt bikes like 8 or 9, like it started to get slower, like school and just life and stuff. But then we got on street bikes when I was 10 and I got last literally every race. It was bad at the start, but we've been getting better. Like it took like a year and a half, I think. I got my first win at like minis on the Ovali.
So a little bit of a
But
transition time from dirt bikes to street bikes.
oh yeah, honestly, it's been fairly quick. Honestly, because I got on the junior cup bike and I wasn't that far off. It just was trusting the tires at first. Like when I first got on a street bike, that was the main thing.
Just
But
understanding
it
the
was
flows that
actually
you have.
nice. Yeah, but it was actually nice. Like it wasn't like I was a complete noob. Like I actually won some motocross races, like super mini kind of stuff. So like not good on a street bike, but it wasn't like I didn't know how to ride a motorcycle at all. So
Right.
that helped a lot. And it's helping a lot now. Like I feel like I have a lot of rear tire control. Like I can slide it around the corner a lot and it doesn't feel that uncomfortable for me. It just kind of happens. Like bumpy tracks, I go really fast at because I don't really care about the bumps like other people.
Yeah. You're more used to it.
Yeah. Yeah, like Road Atlanta, Brainerd are big ones that I do good at because they're really bumpy tracks too.
Do you think if they got repaved, you would struggle there now?
I don't think it's the fact that I'll struggle. I feel like it's the fact that others won't struggle kind of thing.
I
Because
guess
they
even
see
the
like a
playing
big dip
field.
in turn one in Atlanta. Yeah. They see like a big dip in turn one in Atlanta and they like let off a little bit, but I'm just wide open the whole time.
So you
Just
think that
absolutely sending it.
that dirt gives you more confidence to struggle or handle difficult situations, difficult tracks?
Yeah, I would think so. Like, I'm definitely not as good as like Jay Gagne. He's a menace. His bike is moving around the whole time. He's crazy. Just watching him right now, like it's nuts. But I feel like it was a good starting point. Like I
Yeah.
had somewhere to base off of.
So after you get about a year or so into road racing, you're on now junior cups. Is that like 300 cc type of thing?
Yep. I'm on a 400, but yeah, there's an R3 and then there's a 390 out there, but the rest is 400s. And then next year we're gonna try, if our bank account allows it, we're gonna try and move up to Super Sport and
Nice.
race some type of 600. We don't know yet, honestly. Depends on the team, because we have a couple like Ducati shops around our house that we've known for like a decade, but like current team is riding Gixxers, so like could go or I could just ride an R6 or my 636. Like it literally could go any direction.
Is there a
So,
preferred
but
brand that you have for the motorcycle for this super sport class? Do you care what manufacturer you're on?
honestly, right now I'm looking at Ducati just because I love the bike. My favorite bike I've ever ridden right now is the 959. It
Okay.
was one of my dad's buddies, like 30,000, $40,000, like decked out 959. I rode it at Coda. It was so fun. It was awesome.
So leaning towards
And the
Ducati, but it sounds like you've been on a bunch of different bikes or different manufacturers so far with the Kawasaki.
Yeah, I haven't been on the Gixxer yet, but that's just what my team is running. I'm sure I'll get on it at some point. But I've been on my 636 a decent bit. I've been decent on it, but like setup is hard to find on the big bikes, honestly, is the main thing. And the tires too, that's a big one. Because I rode out there, I was doing 203s at Eagles Canyon, 203.5, and then we threw a super soft tire on. I instantly dropped a 2020. That's a big thing for me.
It's a
That
big
was really
jump.
weird. Yeah, because on the 400, it doesn't really matter. Like your grip goes away, it just kind of moves a bit more, but it doesn't really do anything. You're wide open the whole time anyway.
Yeah.
So, but the 600, like, you lose grip and you just can't go at all. So,
Yeah.
setup, we're still trying to dial in on my 636, but we're getting there
Yeah.
slowly but surely.
The grip falls off really quickly because you got how much more horsepower? Like 80 horsepower more
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Especially because we're in Texas too, it absolutely obliterates the tires.
with the heat.
Like, oh, yeah. I put that super soft compound on. They were literally shattered in like 3 laps. Like, I
Yeah.
dropped 2 seconds. Like after 3 laps or maybe four, like I already gained 2 seconds again. Like I was
How
back to 203.
is that considered like a qualifying tire or is that available for normal race use?
No, that this one's available, yeah. I forgot what it was. I think it might have been the R3
Okay.
tire.
Dunlop.
It was just the softest possible compound that you could buy from
Okay.
Dunlop.
Yeah. Um, and do you like that brand of tire, Dunlop? Do you wish it would be an open class, open tire class, or do you like having a spec series?
Um, I honestly wish it was open, but I like Dunlops, honestly. I'm not a big fan of Pirelli. I like Dunlops because I just like it super stiff. So like when it moves, like I'm about to crash kind
Yeah.
of thing. So I know when I'm on the limit, if that makes sense. I don't like it moving around a whole lot, being super squishy like the Pirelli is. And I haven't tried anything else really, because that's all we really have access to out here. Because I'm sponsored by Dunlop now. Like I got contracts, so I can't even ride anything else if I wanted to.
I gotcha.
But I wish it was open class. I think it would bring a lot more money into Moto America as well. Like having a Pirelli sponsor and Dunlop sponsor, Bridgestone, Michelin. I've heard Michelin's are really good. I've yet to try those, but I've been wanting to.
Yeah, that's the main tire that I was on was the Michelin, the Power Cups. They're a great tire. I mean, you just get used to whatever you're given, right?
Yeah, yeah. I just kind of ride anything. It's one of my biggest downfalls, honestly. The whole time I'm at the track, I'd be like, it's just a skill issue. Like I need to go faster and I won't do like bike setup at all. And then we're like, oh, let's just try bike setup. And then I drop 2 seconds instantly.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, it's
I
amazing how
hold
that
my back.
works.
I know. I've been better at it this year. This year I've been diving into bike setup with Dustin, the team owner, because he is really fast. Like he's a good rider too, so I can explain it in like rider terms. Like he's crazy fast. He just broke a track record like He rode 2 laps of practice and then broke the track record at Eagles Canyon here.
Damn.
He's wicked fast. It's
So,
unbelievable. Like he beat Jake Lewis when he won Stock 1000 championship. He beat Jake Lewis at a club race. Like
wow.
he's crazy.
So I think it's definitely important to be able to ride around bike setup problems, to be able to have that skill to just ride it anyways and just adapt. But I think at some point when you are a professional racer and you're just searching for hundredths of seconds, you do need to also focus on, suspension tuning and tire pressures and, all the little minute changes, millimeters here and there on ride height or geometry that you can change. I think that's important too.
Yeah, for sure. That was the downfall last year. And we started diving into it more with Kent was my suspension guy last year. I liked him a lot, honestly. He was just a bit too numbers for me. He was like pure data and I kind of went off feeling. So some of the changes we made would be like the totally opposite direction. With Dustin though, we made like one bad change the whole season. And it
Yeah,
was just a couple clickers and we just put him back. But every change we made have been better. So
that's good.
I enjoy it too. And I don't know what might happen too, because we've been talking to K-Tech for Pittsburgh, and we might go to the Weir race to test because I'm rolling Olin's forks and a Penske rear, what Rocco ran. But K-Tech really wants to sponsor us, so that might help us having actual K-Tech help us and not just us and what we feel.
Right. Yeah, having a professional in your pit crew is so valuable.
Oh yeah, because he was helping me because Loic Arbel, our French superbike rider that subbed in for Supersport, because we wanted to make a good showing for the European guy. So we had like K-Tech guys come over the whole time, and then I was just sitting there and they were kind of helping me.
Yeah,
But it was super nice, honestly, because it's just my dad and then Dustin basically. Like it's been really good, but the K-Tech guy like knows K-Tech like every little thing.
right. Certified
So
technician with it.
yeah, yeah. Honestly, it's kind of weird. My dad has been doing setup too. It's honestly pretty close to motocross. It's really strange. Like the geometry is different, obviously, but like suspension clickers, it's all the same as motocross. Like he just literally thinks about it like he would a dirt bike and it works. That's what we did at Brainerd and it worked.
Yeah.
Like it's super weird.
So tell everybody how you've been doing this year and your finishes and trials and tribulations, all that stuff.
Honestly, this season has not been the greatest, to be completely honest. I've like mainly it's been me, honestly. Like bad performances for me, like bad racecraft, just not getting it done kind of thing. But we had the pace every weekend, like Road Atlanta, I led race one. I had like a 7/10 gap going on the back straight, but then the 400s just draft you. So I got like fifth, I think, the first race.
It's not
And
terrible
then
though.
second, yeah, that's not terrible. I just have higher expectations at myself. Like I like get so pissed at myself, like just whenever I do bad. Like
Right.
I'll go into the trailer and start like throwing my helmet and stuff. Like literally nobody except like just me. Like I just did bad and I just get so mad knowing I could do better. But honestly, Road Atlanta was the only good race we had, and then everything else was kind of bad luck from there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Barber, we had
Sometimes.
an ECU problem and all that. It was bad. Like my ECU at Barber had that ECU for 3 years now. Never had an issue. And then it just we rode the bike 2 weeks ago before the Barber race. And my if I replicated my lap time I did it at the track day, I would have got pole position by 2/10. And then
Ah,
my ECU dies as soon as we get to the race.
there's electrical issues, like it just wasn't firing up, or what was happening?
The calibration was off. It was really weird. Nobody has had this problem in the entire paddock, apparently. We had to figure it out. We had Big Knees' dad literally at the pit until like 2 in the morning trying to figure it out. So basically my ECU, like when it was level like this, my ECU was like, oh, and it thought it was like leaned over the whole time.
Okay.
So my bike was straight up and down, my ECU thought I was leaning to the left, like 45 degrees. And so whenever I would go into Charlotte's Web, a super off-camber corner, and I would lean further left, my bike would think it was upside down and then it would kill itself as
Oh
like
no.
the fail-safe.
Yeah.
Because it's in the gravel trap, you don't want to keep it running. So when it's
Oh
upside
yeah.
down, it shuts off. So when I'm on the track, it would like cut out, and I was like, we didn't know what was going on. Without the fuel pump, we did 3 motor swaps in 2 days. We couldn't figure it out the whole time. And I just rode race one like that. And I tried as long as I could to not lean over, but then it just died. So, but we got it fixed for race two, but then I wasn't there for race one and we didn't know gearing at all and all that stuff. But Road America was honestly kind of my fault, just not going fast. But overall good race. We just got rammed literally out of a podium. I was third in a turn five, and then Levy rammed me, and then Yandel rammed me a corner later. I went from third to like ninth in 2 corners.
At least you didn't fall down, right?
Yeah, I know. I honestly don't know how I didn't. Like my entire left side of my suit literally looked like I crashed. Like it was scraped off.
Oh man,
Like
we got
completely.
tire marks.
No, like my suit was just straight up burned off. Like just the paint like was gone. It was
Wow.
crazy. Like,
That's
and then I
amazing.
had some tire marks like on my shoulder pad, the plastic right here had tire marks there too. And then Brainerd was going really good. It's just couldn't quite get a draft for qualifying. And then I was up there for the race, and then I got slammed into and then got taken out of the race. But that's just racing incident is what it is kind of thing.
Yeah, the junior cups they're gnarly. Like everybody's so close, and you're all it's like big pack racing nowadays. Like that draft is so important.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Like I was leading practice for 10 minutes, I believe, and staying like in the top 3 the entire time until we like practice we just took as practice and made a bunch of setup changes. Like we weren't even trying to go for a lap time and I still ended up like 5th, which was really good. And then qualifying, I literally led qualifying for 15 minutes and then I was P2 for the next 5 minutes. And then on the last lap, I went down to 7th
Oh man,
because everyone was at a crazy draft.
that's frustrating.
I know. That kind of sucked, but I was like, it's Brainerd, it's whatever. I'll pass everybody on the straightaway anyway by the time we get to turn one.
Yeah,
So
Brainerd's
it
an
wasn't
interesting
that bad.
track. Brainerd's interesting. It's like an old school racetrack that they haven't really used. I mean, it's coming back on the schedule the last couple of years, but it was off of the pro schedule for a long time.
Oh yeah. I honestly love the track. I love the layout. It's just like a club track kind of thing. Like super bumpy. The paddock sucks. Like we have to have people at hot pit and then I have to have my pit board people go like somewhere else.
Right,
Like
right,
they're
yeah.
not in the same place. So I can't even talk to my dad mid session or anything like that for like setup or what I need to do and stuff. But I honestly like the track. The layout is super fun. Like
And
the
there's been
infield,
some. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say on the infield, I felt really strong. Like I was going significantly faster than most people, but I just racing incident, things happen. You can't have a perfect season.
Sure. And now, what do you feel about the safety of that track? Because there was an incident last year there, right?
Yeah. They did fix it. They put a plastic curbing, which I'm honestly not a fan of because the plastic curbing is more of a death trap than the actual turn. Because if it was actual curbing, then it'll be okay, but it's like plastic, so rubber and plastic don't exactly like grip.
Right.
It's as soon as you touch it, like you're done, like you're gone. And it's probably going to be a nasty one too because it's so small and fast, like which sucks. The way they fixed it, like could have been better, but it did fix the problem.
All right.
So,
Very good. And you still got a
but
couple rounds coming up this season, right?
yeah, we don't know about New Jersey, honestly, but we're gonna go to Pittsburgh because I love Pittsburgh. It was a good track for me last year, I was running like consistent laps by myself, catching the podium all by myself. So I'm a big fan of, and I just go faster at like the windy tracks and stuff, like no straightaway kind of tracks.
Yeah.
Those tracks I tend to do good at. Like
Tons of
Barber, I ran
elevation.
a, yeah, that kind of thing. Barber, I ran a 35.7. Atlanta, I caught the front group by myself twice. And then Pittsburgh, I just did good last year, the first race. So I just love those tracks. They're super fun.
Yeah, it's like riding a roller coaster at Pittsburgh.
Oh yeah. It's so tiring riding by yourself. Oh my God. I came back from race one last year. I was exhausted.
Yeah.
I was dying. Those S's just throwing your bike back and forth the whole time. I can't even imagine on like a super bike. That's crazy.
It's gonna go. How much faster a lap are the super bikes than the Junior Cup?
Oh, they're like 15, 20, probably.
And
Depends on the track.
sure, and those corners come up real quick.
Oh yeah. That's the other thing too about the super sport. I honestly feel more comfortable on it because the brakes on the 400 are terrible.
You only got
Like,
one rotor in the front, right?
yeah, we have to run stock brakes on our 400s. Literally. We can change rotor and that's it.
Well, they try to do
But
that to reduce cost, right? But it also reduces performance.
yeah, and safety, honestly, because you can't like if somebody misses their braking marker, like the Ivan who took me out, like there's just no chance. Like you can't stop at all. You're braking like so late and the brakes don't work that well.
Yeah,
Like on the twin and the super sport bike with the full Brembos, I feel so much more comfortable. I can brake so much later because I'm honestly an early braker, but on the bigger bikes, I'm way better just
yeah,
because I feel more comfortable with the brakes. I'm not as scared.
that makes sense. So you feel like you're going to be doing more junior, sorry, more Twins Cup or Super Sport in the future?
Definitely super sport because Twins Cup, it's just like it doesn't really go anywhere. Like you go from it's just an extra step for no reason, really. Like it's just more money like that we don't have. So like why try it? We can build a super sport bike and ride that for like 2 years instead of doing twins and then super sport. Because we can spend this next year getting data for the year after. Because
That's a good
that's
way
going
to
to be
look
the
at
big
it.
thing.
Yeah, I gotcha. So I feel
So I
like,
can actually use practice as practice and not gather data in 30 minutes and somehow race.
yeah, I feel like the Twins Cup is a step in between the Super Sport and the Junior, but maybe it's just not needed. It's like a class that really isn't raced all over the world, right? It's just like only in America do
Yeah,
we
that's
do
the thing
baggers
too.
and twins.
Yeah, that's the thing too. Like, it's just not really a thing. Like, it's just a weird class.
Yeah,
Like, just move up to super sport and you have so much more opportunity. Like, and if you get good on a super sport bike, like, you can go like to Europe or race that, like, do anything else. But the twin is just kind of like there, and that's it.
now, what are your thoughts on the baggers?
Uh, honestly, they're like super cool, but every time they go out on the track, they oil the track
They
every
blow
time.
up every
One of
time.
them, yeah, literally one of them explodes every single time. And Junior Cup is always right after baggers. It ended my race last year at Brainerd. I hit an oil spot and then I high sided, but I saved it, but the chain snapped. So,
Not
but
ideal.
they're honestly super cool. And it brings in a lot of money for Moto America, I'm sure, because it's America. Like, who doesn't like a bagger kind of thing? Like, your regular dude coming out to the races. So I'm sure it brings in money too, which is really good because then we could go to better tracks and that kind of thing.
Yeah, I worked at the Bagger Racing League as a track marshal actually in was it Wisconsin, I think it was. Um, and there was a huge amount of crowd there. Like there was so many people that would have never gone to the race if it was just sport bikes. They had,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
yeah, they had like flocks of people come in on their Harleys and Indians and all these different cruisers, adventure bikes, because the dealerships are now interested because of the Harley crowd. The Harley crowd's like, yeah, let's go to the races that they would have never gone to before.
Yeah, for sure. That's the whole thing. Like, it's just America. That's just how it is. Like, every like other person is like a Harley like biker guy kind of
Yeah,
thing.
sure.
And there's like a ton of them, so it probably brings in a lot of money, especially at Road America in Brainerd, because Brainerd is where Indian is located at. They're in Minnesota, and then Harley's literally like right next to Road America. Like I think the headquarters is like an hour or two away.
Yeah, pretty
Like
close.
they're literally right there. Yeah,
The home
that's why Road
race.
America has so many people for the baggers. They go crazy. It's
Yeah.
nuts.
And they do some pretty impressive lap times out there on those baggers. Is right up there with the super sport guys.
Oh yeah, they're crazy. I was talking to Max Flinders, who raced them at the start of the year. He honestly, he said that it turns better than his R1, which is really strange, and you wouldn't think so at all, but it turns better than every other bike out there.
That's
It's
wild.
really weird. But he honestly said the hardest part about riding it is stopping because they weigh like 600 pounds. You can't stop.
Yeah, they're pretty hard to pick up once they fall down.
Oh yeah. Like the brakes, you're like, is it stopping or what? Am I even hitting brakes? But they're honestly kind of cool, like full carbon and all that stuff. It's honestly kind of cool. I'm just salty that they oil the track, but they're
Yeah.
still cool.
They just needed to be better with their reliability.
Yeah, yeah, those things are wicked though. Those motors and just bike in general, it's nuts what they can do.
Yeah, and it was cool at the last round, Josh Hayes getting his what is it, 87th or 86th victory to push him ahead of the record boards. Now he's the most winningest rider ever in AMA Pro Sanctioned Racing.
Oh yeah, that was crazy to see. And the way he did it too, he literally destroyed everybody. It was nuts. Like
And
it wasn't even close. He literally won by like 5 or 7 seconds or something like that.
yeah, that's
Like, and he's
dominant.
like, I know, and all the like Chavi Flores, Rocco. I guess Chavi Flores is kind of a vet because he's 37, which I didn't know until like fairly recently. I thought he was like late 20s maybe, but he's like almost 40.
Yeah,
But the Hayes to destroy everybody for however old he is, I have no idea. Isn't he high 40s, like 48 or some crazy thing?
yeah, he's in his probably mid 40s. I think he's I heard that he didn't really start racing until he was like 26 years old. So imagine you having all this experience since when you're two, and how much better you could be potentially with all that experience in your younger days that he didn't have.
Oh yeah, that's crazy too. And he's gonna do that for his kid too. I saw him out there at the races already. He's gonna be training him as soon as he knows how to speak words. Like I guarantee you.
Yeah, it's amazing how young children can be, or babies really, and get on a motorcycle and do okay at it.
Yeah, it's crazy, honestly. I was just out there on my little CRF 50 with training wheels, but I was like out riding, which like helped me get a lot better. Like that's the reason I'm not going faster right now too, is because of track time. I honestly like can't get much of it just because we don't have the money to like do it. Like this year, like I've ridden at the Moto America races and that's it. I've never touched a motorcycle in between any of the races. I
No
literally
testing
just show
rounds.
up and run. No, nothing. I did the one track day this year before Brainerd, and that was it. That was literally it. I've never touched a bike in between any of the rounds.
So what is it that you need to get to the next step in your career? Is it finding more sponsorship? Is it doing more training at home? Like what kind of things are you trying to work on?
Well, I'm doing a lot of training at home now too, because I just have a fitness coach that helps me a lot, and I have a buddy who I like to train with. So that's super nice because it's honestly hard to go to the gym by yourself. But when you have a buddy like yelling at you one more rep, it makes it fun.
Yeah,
Like we'll be there for like 2 hours just like messing around the whole time. Like we're actually training, but it makes it fun too.
sure.
Cause then honestly with the buddy there, it makes it easier to get to like absolute failure. Like cause he'll say like one more, like come on dude, one more, like that kind of thing. And then you reach like absolute failure.
Sure. Yeah, there's a lot of different thoughts of how to work out, and if it's working for you, keep doing it.
Yeah, I'm doing a lot of endurance type things. Like when I work out, like 15 to 20 reps, like 15 reps minimum kind of thing. And I do biking and cardio a lot. Biking and cardio. Man, I'm so smart. I meant biking and running. Um, like I try to get up every morning and run, and then I'll go to the gym later and I might get on the bike or stair climber. Honestly, whatever I'm feeling that day.
Do you have a
But
certain
mostly bike
amount?
and running.
Do you have a certain amount of miles you try to do per week or per month or biking and running?
Usually I do like how much do I do? I think around 5 miles a day because I'll do like just a quick mile in the morning. It's no impressive feat. Like I'm not that good at running. I just kind of do it to like try and help myself. But I'll do 3 or 4 miles on the bike depending on how much time I have usually.
Nice. And are you
So
doing
it's
like
not that much, but as long as it's consistent, I think it's okay.
yeah, are you doing like mountain biking or road riding on the skinny tire bikes?
No, I wish. I'm just doing like stationary bikes right now, but
Okay.
I want to do. My dad wants to go out and do some mountain biking. We did it with a buddy of ours who has bikes, and he let us borrow some. It was so fun. I was
Yeah.
terrible, but it was still fun.
Sure. Yeah, I got
'Cause
into
I want to do road bikes, but it's so dangerous. Honestly, like my parents don't want me to do it because
dangerous
we
from
live in the
falling
suburbs.
down or like getting hit by a car.
Getting hit by someone, because like not even trying to sound cocky or anything, but like I'm a racer, like I'm aware of like most of everything kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like I've seen like, just like car crash reel on like Instagram. People just like can't like process like when they're crashing or something goes wrong, like a racer can. Like any other racer in Moto America can like be like hit the brakes, dodge or something like that, but just a normal person never does stuff like that. And if something goes wrong, like Nikki Hayden, like
Yeah.
it's game over just because I was trying to work out.
It's scary, man. It really
So
is. People are terrible drivers for the most part.
yeah,
Yeah,
I know. Mountain biking seems good though.
because
Like,
you're
because you're
normally out
by
in the
yourself.
forest, or well, I don't know about
Yeah.
if you have forests in Texas, but you're out in the trails at least. But anytime I do road riding, and I do mountain bike. When I go out, anytime I go out, I do feel that there is a little bit of a risk when you're riding on the road, because the sidewalks are going way too fast and they're too bumpy to ride on most of the time. So I do ride in the road, but anytime I ride, I make sure I have a headlight, a tail light, and I actually have like I don't know what you call it, like a vest with lights on it. Um,
Oh, like a reflective vest.
yeah, it's kind of like it just pulses light in different
Oh,
colors. So like if you don't see me, you're not even looking at the road. Like it's obnoxious amount of light, and so
yeah.
with that, I do feel a lot safer. Now you're never going to have zero risk. There's always going to be somebody who's just has a medical emergency, like some rare instance, or runs a stop sign, even though. But yeah, I do feel like that's how I'm going to go. That's how I'm going to go, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And we have a BMX track, like a world class BMX track, literally 20 minutes from my house. So we'll do that sometimes too for fun. I don't do that much, but like a couple times a month just for fun to go out there and go race and stuff. I enjoy BMX a lot. It's
Yeah,
super
that's
fun.
good. I know a really good buddy of mine started in BMX and then became a really good road racer. So it's like I think the two are a little bit connected.
Yeah, because the bikes, like bicycles, that's the only way I can like do anything, honestly. Like, because I can't, the closest I can get to riding is sitting on my motorcycle in the garage. So,
Yeah. I got into mountain bike racing as well, and actually won a championship in it in Michigan. I think that mountain bike racing is great in that you're using bike control, you're going up and down hills, you know, getting, you're rubbing trees sometimes and getting really close to other people, competitors, and it's not the same. You don't have a throttle, but you're using braking, you're turning real hard. The conditions are changing from sand to dirt to rocks to tree roots and all these things. And I think it's a really good way to train. You're getting that cardio up and fighting with other people.
Yeah, I like mountain biking. It's really fun. Honestly, I thoroughly enjoy it, and my dad does too. Well, he enjoyed it more with his like e-bike
Yeah.
because he complains about being old and fat all the time, so he uses his e-bike. But he just likes mountain bikes. We want to get dirt bikes, but things cost money, so
Sure.
can't really do that. Mountain bikes are like fairly cheaper, so it's realistic. Oh my God, my voice just died. They're fairly realistic, but dirt bikes would be the dream to get, like, honestly, because they're just super fun, and I would get to race all the time because I have like three tracks within like an hour radius. So, like, I could literally just go train like whenever I wanted to.
And would that be more like motocross with jumps or like flat track, like staying on the ground more?
No, there's not really any flat track. Oh, wait, that's not true. The Colin Edwards camp
Texas
is
Tornado
like
Boot
3 hours from, yep. It's like 3 hours from my house, but I've never been out there. I've never done flat track in my life. Never tried it. I need to. I know I need to. It will make me so much better. Never tried it though.
Yeah, I mean, they're on like, what is it, 125s, 100 cc's. It's kind of like the ideal training tool because you can push the front,
Yeah.
save it, slide it, learn where the grip levels are. And it's really relatively very low risk. And you're staying on the ground. You're not going to break your leg from jumping off 30-foot gaps and all that stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Probably just stick to motocross. Plus I have my dad too to like coach me and all that stuff because he was a pro. So that would be very helpful. He'll probably still smack me around till the end of time.
Yeah.
But it'll be a good training tool, especially in the Texas heat too, to try and ride for that long. Like, try not to pass out, but it'll still be a good training tool.
Yeah. I think
Because
that
right now it's currently 104 outside, and it's not helping at all.
right. Well, it's like a free sauna.
Yeah. Oh
Just
my
going
God, you're
outside.
telling me, dude. Yeah, I've had that free sauna for like 2 weeks now. I'm getting tired of the sauna. I don't want it anymore.
So you're in is it Round Rock, Texas?
Yep.
And you've been living
It's
there
like 30 minutes north of Austin.
okay. Have you lived there your whole life?
Yep. We've literally never moved.
Okay,
Like,
same house.
parents bought the house when I was pregnant. Like, never moved. Just been there my whole life. And that's what sucks for training too on the road bikes too, because it's like a suburb area. So, like, there's literally cars like everywhere.
Ah,
So that kind of sucks too. But mountain biking, there's a couple like trails. It's not really like a forest per se, but there's trees and trails and that kind of stuff.
nice. Yeah, I just actually moved from Michigan to Las Vegas in January. So I've been out here for about 8 months now, and yeah, it's like the same temperature. It's like 106 today, pretty windy.
Oh my
Um,
God.
but yeah, last couple of weeks it got up to 116 degrees in the desert out here. It's wild. Um, So I understand your pain. It's very hot. I like the heat. I moved out here on purpose for actually a racing coaching job. I work as a racing coach for exotic vehicles, sports cars. Right now, I'm working with Ferrari, Lamborghini, Porsche, Nissan, and Aston Martin. And I'm being trained right now for the next tier for tier three, which is Audi, Corvette, Shelby, and Acura. So coaching in the right seat most of the time, and having drivers, in the left seat, in the driver's seat, and coaching them around the track, telling them when to shift, when to brake, what to do, techniques, when to accelerate, where to be on the track. Um, some people they call it more of a driving experience than a racing school. we're teaching them the same concepts, just in a condensed period of time. Most people, it's their first time ever on a racetrack, and they're like, do I have to brake? I'm like, please, please brake. And we actually have a brake fitted in every car on the right side also. So like yesterday, I had a guy. There was a bit of a language barrier, but I spoke his language too. So there's no excuse there. And he was just not braking. I'm like, sir, please brake. I'm braking for you. This car does not have automatic brakes. I am doing that. Can you brake next time, please, in turn one? So there's a lot of that going on. But then we do get people out there who are racers, we get guys from Formula One sometimes, and all different series come out there, celebrities. It's a really cool place to work. I really like it.
Jeez, that's crazy. Like, I honestly enjoy car racing like a little bit myself. Like, I can't actually do it, but I've been playing iRacing a lot, and it's 1 for 1. I've heard from everybody to car racing. I enjoy it a lot. That's I everything I do like in my off time, it's either working out or like some like racing video game. It's literally like all I do. I just enjoy it, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, iRacing is great. I use a similar game called Assetto Corsa Competizione on my simulator in my
Oh
living room. Very similar thing. So I actually know a guy who won an iRacing championship. I podcasted with him, Swelio Almeida. And he went from the simulator winning online to getting a real a seat in a car, and ended up winning in that same year, the first season, winning races. So it is extremely similar from your simulator rig to real life driving. Now, obviously, you're not going to have the G forces. You're not going to have the risk in your sim rig. There's no reset button out there, but yeah, the concepts are the same. The grip level models are very, very accurate, and that force feedback is what you kind of feel. So it's a great training tool. And for iRacing, for you, you can purchase whatever tracks you want. The tracks you're going to go to, you can try them out, do 7,000 laps before you even show up, and know where the racing line is. And that's so valuable. You're saving tires, you're saving time, and you're learning. I'd recommend any racer to do these simulator rigs, and you'll improve.
Yeah, honestly, I've been enjoying myself some short course right now. Just kind of messing around because it's like fun to race, not as much errors. That's what I do with my buddy. But I'll do some road stuff. I've been doing the GT3s, the Ferraris,
Yeah.
the Evos. Those are so fun because they just had one at Spa last week. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's cool from car to car. The cars feel so different, right? They all have different characteristics, different grip levels. They might oversteer or understeer, or just have different power band deliveries. So it's cool to check them all out and try different cars, and like try to get good in the Ferrari. Then go to the Porsche, and you're like, this drives so different. Like, I gotta adapt now.
Yeah, I'll like go from the Ferrari to back to the Mazda. Oh my goodness. Goes from like way oversteer and then it's like complete understeer. Like I'm brake tapping to try and get it to like pitch or drift or
Rotate.
something. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
it's pretty
trying to
cool.
get it to do anything. And then I go in the Ferrari and immediately spin and I'm like, oh, I need to get used to this again.
Yep. And
But
so
that's all I do, man. I love racing,
yeah,
honestly.
and so going from I really come from more of a motorcycle background. So it's cool going into the cars now, and trying to adapt my coaching knowledge from bikes to cars. It's extremely similar. Really, on a car you have steering angle. On a bike you have lean angle. But it's the same concept. It's like once you're at full lean and you're reducing the lean angle, that's when you should be accelerating, right? When you have all the steering angle, once you're reducing, unwinding to straight, that's your cue to be accelerating. If you do it before, you're going to be understeering on a bike or a car, and you're going to be going wide. So just wait until you're unwinding or reducing that lean angle, then you can accelerate. And for people, they just don't generally understand that concept. Most people are mid corner, tons of angle on the car. They want to punch the throttle. I'm like, please don't do that. Like if you add lean angle or add steering angle and you add throttle at the same time, that's generally called a spin, or on a motorcycle, a high side, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I've been thoroughly enjoying it. I've been getting more into it now, honestly. I have a Assetto Corsa too, just not the new one, just the regular one. I've yet to try it though. Um, but I honestly love messing around on the car stuff. It's really fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Like,
fun. And I would
cause
say you can probably get in a car with all your knowledge. If you got with the right team or improved your skills on the sim, um, talk to the right person, I bet you they give you a shot in the car.
oh yeah, like I'm not like a demigod or anything. I'm not that good at iRacing. Like I can get pretty close. Like on the short course, I was just over a second and a half away from the pros. So not that far off, but like not enough to like go for it. Because a second and a half on a short course is a lot. I don't know how they're even doing that.
It's like, where are they finding this time?
I know it's crazy, but I've been thoroughly enjoying iRacing. I enjoy it a lot. Just road and then dirt road. I'll do some rally on the Beetles as well. That's fun. It's harder for me though because I don't have an actual like handbrake. I just have
Okay.
like a button on my
Yeah.
steering wheel. So I can't feel my handbrake at all. So I just kind of like mash the button and hope it goes well.
Understandable. Maybe it sounds like you need a little small upgrade.
Yeah, I know. My current sim setup is my pedals are duct taped to a box so they don't lift when I hit the brakes. And
Yeah.
then I have a beanbag shoved behind my chair so it doesn't roll.
Hey, run with what you brought, right?
I know. That's all I got, man. Like I want to get a handbrake and then I've actually been looking at the new SF 1000, the wheel
Yeah.
from Fanatec, I think. But that thing looks really nice, honestly. Direct drive, twice the force feedback as the Logitech for only $250.
It's not
That
bad.
seems like a steal.
That's a great price point. I have the Fanatec as well. I have the DD1, a wheelbase with the F1 wheel, and then the V3 inverted pedals. And it's
Oh,
actually more force feedback than you even need. It's more than real world application. So it's like I need to turn down the force feedback because it's like 22 Newton meters or something like that. And I think it should be around 13 or 14, depending on the car.
yeah, it's crazy. I've seen like some F1 like drivers, like esports drivers, literally I saw one guy like bent his pinky backwards when he hit the wall.
Oh yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah, you got to watch yourself because if you lose control of the wheel, you better take your hands off of it. Don't even try to grab it again because you're going to hurt your hand. Yeah, I've done it before.
Yeah, mine's not that bad. It's only a T248 for the
Okay.
Thrustmaster.
Yeah.
It's like a slight step above the Logitech, but that's it.
Yeah. And
Like,
and most of
and
the
it's really
coaches,
nice because it has a stiffer brake spring as well that I put in. That's super nice.
right, yeah. Yeah, most of the coaches who work with me at the track, they almost all have simulator rigs at home because it's such a great training tool. And one of my buddies, he actually has I'm not sure what you call it, where the whole thing tilts and rotates with the car. Um,
Oh my God.
and three screens. Like I'm just using one screen for my TV, but he's got the three screens set up and like the curve monitors and everything. It's like this is next level.
Oh yeah, my buddy is really good that I play short course with. He has like this like 50-inch like curve monitor in front of him and like he just has a regular Logitech surprisingly, but he was about to get his pro license in NASCAR and then he just kind of gave up for some reason and doesn't care that much, but he's still really fast.
Yeah,
Honestly, like on oval, he'll destroy me. I don't know how he does it in an oval. It's so weird.
yeah.
But
I wanted to talk about some of your supporters, your sponsors. Who are some of the people who are on your team this year?
my teammates, or team members, like I guess the whole category. Damien is my teammate. He's an old Junior Cup rider. He rode Junior Cup back when Dallas Daniels and Rocco were in Junior Cup, like 2019. So he's been here before, done a couple of things, that kind of thing. And then the rest of my team is honestly just like older guys just doing it to do it kind of thing. just to pay the bill for Dustin. But they're all super nice and all that. I love those guys, honestly. If you know Steven Shakespeare out there, I
Yeah,
love
yeah.
that guy. He's so fun.
He's a
He's
good dude.
awesome. I love that. And then Mike Boyce, he's like this rich guy that like sponsors the team just to do it. He like never qualifies, but he's like a saint. He's awesome. He's just like super nice all the time, like always smiling, having fun,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And then we got Jeff Bean. He's trying to get better, but he's like around 20th in twins, like which is not too bad, but he's on an FZ07, so it's not good. It's like the slowest bike out there.
I
But
gotcha.
he's trying to get better. But Damien's probably the actual teammate that was riding the super sport bike, and he's a good resource teammate. We can talk about the track and all that kind of stuff. Honestly, the biggest help has been Dustin because he's just like a super fast racer, so he can give me tips on riding and setup. Like he's a wizard. It's crazy. It's awesome. And then it's just my dad and my grandpa that do all the mechanic work on it because we just been doing it for so long. We got our system going and all that stuff. Like we already know what we're doing, that kind of thing. For
And
super sport, we'll probably have a team around us because we have no idea how that kind of works. But the 400, we've been around it forever.
are you working on the bike at all, or are you just riding the bike, don't touch the bike?
I normally don't touch it, but this last weekend, it's not like I don't know how to do it. I just don't really because my grandpa's there. But my grandpa wasn't there at Brainerd, so it's just me and my dad kind of trucking it, you know? Like, and then the team will obviously help, like, when there's like a major problem when you get plowed into and it bends your subframe. Like, we had a bunch of people helping us then, but like, we're not doing that much. We're just changing a chain or clutch, something like that.
Unless
Basic
you,
kind of
yeah,
stuff.
unless you need to do 3 engine swaps in a weekend, and then that's a lot of work, right?
Oh, oh yeah, we had like everyone on that. Like we had Big Knees' dad, our whole team, like Max Van's dad was helping out a little bit. Like we had everybody on it to try and like help. And we still had no idea what to do after all the motor swaps.
And some people are just wizards with the wrench, and some people, take a week to change an engine. So what's the time for a race team to change an engine typically?
Depends on the race team, but for a reference for us, we had our warm up was at 10:40, I believe. Whatever the Sunday schedule is. I think it was 10:40, and then I go out at like 2:55, I think, for 3:10 is when the lights go out. And it said pit lane opening in 5 minutes, and we were still putting fairings on. So like we were literally like screwing on our body work like at 5 minute call
Wow.
and like putting on our real body work. So it was tight. It was real
So
tight.
a couple hours then.
Yeah. It was about four, probably.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's not
that's about
bad.
four. Yeah. Yeah. For like only a couple people, it was like three people that were doing it. Like that's pretty good. We've been
Yeah.
around that bike so many times. And my dad's pretty mechanically inclined too because he never had money like at all. Like racing, like he literally rode Supercross like in the back of his van. He would just live in his van. He didn't have a house or anything. He would just live in his van and race. Like so he did everything himself. Like he knows how to do everything. Like he's not like the fastest ever. He likes to take his time, but he can like rebuild whole forks and like motors and clutches and transmissions. He knows how to do all that.
That's really
It's all the
valuable to
same.
know. Yeah, it's helpful. Definitely really helpful to have.
Oh yeah, it's super nice. He just knows everything like about the bike because it's a motorcycle. Like dirt bike, street bike, it's all the same. Like it's a
Right.
motorcycle. Okay, it's not that different.
Right. Just different application. Dirt versus pavement. And
Yep,
so
exactly. But
who,
that's been super nice.
so who are some of the sponsors that you guys have on your team? I know you have like Blood Lubricants is one of them.
Blood Lubricants is a good one because they make 020 weighted oil, which is super nice. So it means more horsepower out of the bike. That's what we've been using for the season. It's actually really good. We didn't know how Blood was, honestly, because they're like a newer company, American company. We didn't know if it was going to be super high quality, but it's been super nice. I know like three or four people that all run it in like podium, like Big Knees and me, and like I think Avery runs it, I believe, and Crease. So it's does its job. It's really nice because we were running Motul, but Blood has been helping us out a lot. Super nice, and they're active on social media,
Hmm,
so that's really nice.
good. And any other partners that you guys have on the team for sponsorship?
We have the Cupcake guys who sponsor me. It's this ex-football NFL player who opened a cupcake shop, Michael Griffin, if you know the name, but
Okay.
he's been out Dakota a bunch, just doing track days and whatnot, got into motorcycles, and he doesn't give us anything, but he gives us like a big chunk of money, which is like awesome, super nice, because we would have been finished a long time ago without it. But he's super awesome to talk to and all that stuff. And he's a professional. Well, he was an NFL player for like a decade. So he's
Yeah,
got the athlete mindset. He was helping me with like my TV stuff and just like the like right frame of mind kind of thing, like mindset when I go into races and that kind of thing. Cause it's the same. It's just sports. Like it's all the same, really, like
right.
how you approach it with your frame of mind. You got to have confidence, but not blind confidence kind of thing. Like you know you can go out there and win, but like don't like be super cocky about it kind of thing.
Sure. Got to be humble.
Yeah, exactly. But then we also got an anonymous sponsor too who donated a lot of money. That was super nice. Like saved us at Brainerd. He gave us a huge chunk of money. So that kind of saved us because we had like 2 grand and we were about to drive across the country and race a Moto America race. So that was not going to fare well. But he really clutched up for us and it was awesome. And then we got taken out anyway. But,
Ah,
you know, stuff happens, man.
that's how it goes.
But yeah, I know. Like I've taken people out before. Like mine was worse. At a club race, I took JC Camacho out. He's racing Stock 1000 this year, and he's gotten top 10 every race. And before the season, I crashed in front of him, and he broke both of his collarbones and 4 ribs
Ah,
because I crashed in front of him. So I was freaking beating myself up after that one.
I
I felt
bet.
so bad. It was just like wrong place, wrong time. Like he went to get the drive on me going on the front straightaway, and then I front tucked right in front of him. And
Ah,
so he just like ran me and my bike over and then like freaking smashed the pavement. So,
crashing sucks.
but yeah, I know. It is what it is. Happens to everybody. Everybody's done it. So
Yeah.
I can't be that mad about it. But basically, we just have a bunch of sponsors that give us money. And then Spears, he is probably the biggest one, honestly, because he gives us a bunch of free stuff just straight up. And he's like super helpful with the races because we're like short on funds. So it's like a week before the race. And we're like, okay, we can buy parts now. And then we buy like everything,
Yeah.
like to help save us for like 2 races or something. And he'll like, don't worry, I'll send it right to the track. And it's like there, ready to go. Like
Perfect.
we always have our clutches and brake pads just sent to the track because that's just when we get paid.
Yeah.
So,
And so,
and then we bought our new bike too. So contingency will be very helpful as
yeah.
well.
Um, and so what would you estimate the cost of a typical season being? You're doing, what is it, 10 rounds for the class?
Yeah. Yeah. Depends what you do because it's a lot cheaper by yourself. But last year, Pure Attitude, it was 110,000 for the whole year,
Just to
like
show
total
off.
spending. Yeah. Just to do all the races and like have like change the clutch and chain every race so it doesn't go out like that. Basic stuff. Like everyone does it, like changes like chains every race because they like are super small. The max runtime is like 8 hours, I
Really?
think,
Wow.
on our trip. Yeah, and then they just straight up snap. Like I got mine off at Brainerd because we ran it for Road America and the track day. It was literally like a bowstring. Like it was so curved.
Yeah, they lose their
Like it
tension
was.
after a while.
Yeah, like if I rode on it for like another hour or so, it would have snapped probably.
Wow,
Like it was about to go.
that's
Like the
amazing.
pins were like bent in between the links and stuff. Like it was about to go. It was on his last leg.
When you're putting so much torque on that chain for so long a period of time.
Yeah, it's just because we run the smaller chains, because the 415 chain, it's the same chain they used on like KTM 65s, like dirt bikes, the little
Yeah.
bikes that like 10-year-olds ride.
This is less
So,
weight, right? Less weight, less mass.
yeah, yeah, I think it's about 1 or 2 horsepower. Like
Wow.
just going from the 520 to the 415 chain, I believe, something like that. So, I believe it's two, but take everything I say with a grain of salt
Well, it's
because
like that
I don't
concept of,
actually know.
you know, you want to have a machine that will perform perfectly at its optimal performance until it crosses the finish line and then it breaks, right? That's the idea.
Exactly. Yeah, basically.
um, just running on those fine margins as low as possible, and then fix it.
Yeah. And then two other sponsors too that I have to shout out are definitely Bison. Have been they've been helping me for like 3 years. They're super helpful. Rob and Tasha are like amazing people. They're super nice. Like I crash and Rob will like repaint my suit and like make sure everything's good to go. Like the lights work and all that kind of stuff. Like super awesome. And then Arai has been like really helpful, especially after my last crash, because I got a concussion. I like landed straight on the back of my head and got crazy whiplash
Hmm.
and like definitely a concussion. Like, but it was fine because I remembered the whole thing, so I knew I was fine. But just rest for a couple of days kind of thing. It's been weird just sitting there because I can't like work out or like play games or anything. I literally just have to like sit there
Yeah.
and like maybe watch TV or something. Because I definitely knew got a concussion. It was really weird. I've never had it before like this. Like we were just on the road back, and I like ran across the parking lot just to take a whiz, and my head just started throbbing so bad. Like it started going black. Like it was weird. All I did just from like bouncing up and down kind of thing. So, but my helmet like cracked on the back, like cracks like that big probably, like 3 inches, 4 inches long, probably on the back of my head. So completely unusable. Like I could have shattered it if I threw it at the ground.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
But
That's some
a
big
ride hooked us up
impacts.
with a brand new helmet. So that was awesome.
And what model of helmet are you using for the Arai?
The new Corsair X, I believe it's called. I
Nice.
think that's what it is. I can't remember the exact name. I think it's the Corsair X.
Okay. Yeah.
Is what it is. But it's awesome, super nice. Honestly, I've ridden Shui before and AGV. I like AGV. The field of vision is the best, definitely. And then Chewy is just a good like all rounder, like checks all the boxes kind of thing. Good field of view, fairly comfortable. But Arai is like the most comfy helmet I've had. Like not even a sponsored thing. Like
Yeah.
Arais are just so comfy. You can't see as much like at the top up here, but they're so comfy. It's awesome. Like it's so plush around your head.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, different brands fit different head shapes too. So some helmet might not fit your own personal head, so you got to find one that fits you.
Yeah, I've tried Bell as well when I was little, but my head shape was not working with it. It would like push on the side of my head and give me a headache by the time I went off track, so we had to get rid of that.
Sure. So what do they do now for concussion protocol at the track?
Just get checked out. It depends how bad it was. Because I came over there and they like did their standard questionnaire kind of thing, just car price, the medic just standing there, did a little questionnaire thing like, can you remember it? Where are we at? Like all that kind of just basic questions.
Okay.
But and I passed all that, like did all that. So they were less strict about it for me because I remember the whole crash, everything that happened. So I knew I was fine. Like I knew it was okay. If I didn't remember the crash, that would be bad. Then something is majorly wrong.
Sure. Yeah, I
But
had one crash in particular that I didn't remember it. I woke up in the ambulance, and that's never a fun thing.
Oh yeah, I did that at the pump track. Like on the trails, there's like this pump track in the middle of the forest. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna clear this jump. I got it, dude. This is so easy. Like I've been clipping the rear every time, and I'm like, dude, I'm gonna clear it this whole section. Went across the first jump, front tucked, and face planted right in the dirt.
Oh,
And like I woke up like 10 feet away from where I crashed. I was like, oh my God. I did not have it at all.
man. So,
But they also have like I don't know what they're called, so I'm just gonna call them concussion goggles. But it's like a VR headset kind of thing, and it has lights in it, like different types of tests and stuff that like track your eye movement and that kind of thing. And you do it at the start of the year, and then when I got my concussion, they like compared it, and it was basically the same. So
okay.
it was fine. And they test like reaction time, eye tracking, like how well you can focus. Like there's one where there's a dot, but then there's like a starry field behind it. So you have to stay like focused on the dot, and then the dot moves back and forth. And then there's like a reaction time one. So a bunch of different things. They're still working on it like it's a prototype type thing, but it still works now.
Well, good.
So
I'm glad that
really
they're
good tool that they're coming up with now.
yeah, I'm glad they're improving all that because concussions are scary. You know, it's that's your computer. If your computer goes off, you're not coming back.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing too, because my mom's real worried about it too. She's big like helicopter mom, like safety is like the whole thing kind of thing. But we had a buddy who had a concussion and then he didn't get checked out for a day. And he went in the next day and he has permanent brain damage now. So
Damn.
always get that checked out. Don't
Sure.
mess around with concussions. You
Yeah.
like broken bones or whatever, like that's a thing. Except your back, that's bad too. But you'll survive if you break your arm or something, like it'll be okay. But like your either your back or your concussions, like check that out like instantly.
Yeah.
Like they will ruin you like completely if you don't check it out.
Sure. So, what is something that's on your mind today you wanted to talk about that we haven't covered?
Um, I don't know, honestly. Just like we covered plans for next year, just like I don't know. We kind of covered everything. Like I told you what's gonna happen, what's gonna go down, but we're seeing if we can find some sponsors and stuff for next year. We want to probably the go-to at the moment is going to be a Ducati effort. That's what we want to do because I love that bike 959 I rode and it was my favorite bike honestly and it's literally the V2 but with a different swing arm. So probably Ducati for next year. We're going to do lots of testing to like get a setup going because it's really hard to get a setup on those, especially for like late race setups when the tire starts to go. That's where it really suffers. Like it starts to bounce and shake the whole time when you try.
Yeah.
But we're
So,
gonna try and make that Ducati happen next year. We'll see what happens. I want to run a Ducati, just the power band and the whole bike, how it is. It's very stiff and smooth, which is how I like to ride. I don't like it to be very loose at all, like how the R6 is, and the 636 is fairly loose as well. But I'm not a huge fan of that. I like it to be like butter smooth and stiff. That's just how I like to ride, honestly.
and do you have, if you could choose, would you like to stay in the super sport for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years, or would you want to try to immediately jump to the 1000 cc classes or the superbike class as soon as possible? Like, what's your mindset on moving up the rankings? Do you want to win the championship first, or does it not matter so much? You just want to get up to the higher classes?
Um, Honestly, it depends how it goes. Like super sport, like first year, just gonna shoot for consistent top tens the whole time, get solid data, like that kind of thing. Probably stay in super sport for at least 2 years, maybe three. Well, probably three, just to try and get good results. The third year, like try and get podiums and that kind of thing. Because Junior Cup has honestly just been a pain in the butt for us, like super difficult. And then they reduced the calendar, so that sucks. It's been helpful this year because we kind of ran out of money, but it still sucks just because like it was a premier class and then it went to not premier class, so that kind of sucks. But Super Sport has a full calendar, which will be nice. And honestly, the main thing I would want to do is go to Europe more than anything. I'm gonna sign up for Red Bull Rookies this year and see what happens and go out there and see how it goes. We'll see what happens. I need a pro to sign off on it. But then once we do that, we'll be good to go. And then
Well,
hopefully it goes good, but we'll see.
isn't it interesting that you as a professional need another professional to sign off on you? You're already a pro.
Yeah, I know it's really strange, but like an actual pro, I guess, is what you can call it. But honestly, dream for me probably Moto 3 and then like go from there. Like Moto 3, like I've made it. Like I don't care. I'll take it. A win is a win.
So, how old are you now?
16.
16. All right. And so you're still pretty young. Um, where can people find you online? Where are you out there on the internet?
Chase Black Racing on Instagram or Facebook, or you can go to chaseblackracing.com. You can donate, or I update my website and all that, so you can look there. And honestly, I've been tossed around the idea, but I don't know if much people will watch or anything like that. But I always play like my motocross game or iRacing all the time, so I'm thinking of just like streaming that because then I'll have stuff to post on Instagram because it's hard to get followers for me and like get content because I've like nothing to post. I literally sit in my house the whole day, like, and do nothing. I go to the gym and that's it.
Yeah.
Like, I don't have anything to post about. Like, sure, I can do like way better. Like, I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's just like sucks. It feels weird just to post about like I went to the gym and that's it. Like, that's
Yeah. I
literally
mean,
all I do.
I think the streaming is a great idea. If you're going to be gaming anyways for some training or for fun entertainment, just turn the camera on, do Twitch, do streaming. Um, I've done that a couple of times, but I've really struggled with the technology aspect of it. My computers aren't phenomenal, so it keeps dropping off, and it's like, oh, connection died again. Like, oh, I get frustrated with it, but I need to upgrade my computer, and then I'll start, streaming my racing games and things like that. I think something to think about for creating content is just document. Don't try to create. Just like, yeah, just this is what I'm doing today. I'm in the gym, post it, and it doesn't matter how
Yeah.
high quality it is. People are just following you because they like you or they like seeing what you're doing or, posting pictures and of your racing, of just riding. And I saw you have a bunch of really cool videos on Instagram of you riding at the track and stuff like that. It looks great. And I was just scrolling and I found this one guy doing a seminar on creation of content. He's like, just because you posted something before doesn't mean you can't post it again. Like, recycle this content. People like seeing, just like a song. You have a verse that's repeated 3, 4 times throughout the song, and it's okay because you like that consistency. Now, maybe you don't want to post the same thing every day for a week, but you get what I'm saying. Just like it's okay to repost things.
Yeah, that's the problem with like that's what I want to do the streaming stuff for, just some variety at all. Cause like the gym post will be good for like a week or two, and then it's like okay, like everyone's just gonna click past it. Like
Yeah.
really. Like they'll be good for like a solid week or two, probably. Like I need to start doing it. Like I'm terrible about it, about Instagram, because that's how you get sponsors. I'm just terrible at that. I don't post anything. I just like honestly, like massive like introvert. I just keep to myself the whole time. Like I have people I play with online, but I just most of the time I literally like put on some music and I'll just jam out and play racing games or something. Like
Sure.
that's kind of all I do, man.
Yeah, understandable. Um, so that's a little bit over an hour, I believe. I didn't put my timer on, but I'm pretty sure it's over an hour. So, is there anything else you wanted to talk about before we end up today?
Honestly, not really. I don't have anything interesting right
Sure.
now to talk about. Hopefully I will by the time we hit next season. And then hopefully all the stars are aligned. I'll be on a Ducati and I'll be like getting up there trying to show like Josh Hayes what time it is. So we'll see what happens, man.
Very good. And
But I
when
need
is the
and
next
I'll
race
try to
for
keep
you?
up the content. 2 weeks, April, not April, Jesus, August 18th to 20th is
Okay.
Pittsburgh, which is a good track for me. I really like Pittsburgh. It's one of my favorite tracks. That, Atlanta, and Barber are my best tracks on the calendar right now. So we're hoping for good things. And we might race Coda as well. But I need to get my Super Sport license and a bike to ride because my 636 is a 2013, which is too old. I think, because it has to be within 8 years. But we're pretty much out and done out of the championship now. That was my only goal, is to do good in the Junior Cup championship. But we're out of it now. But so we're gonna race Pittsburgh and hopefully have a breakout race, see what happens, and like go out with a bang. Last race probably. So
Sure.
make it count. And
And
then maybe
so
race Coda.
what does it take to get your super sport license after being, a seasoned junior cup racer?
Yeah, you have to just accumulate expert points in super sport classes like in club racing. Just like any other thing, pretty normal stuff. Just get like good results in your local B class, C class kind of thing, and then you'll be good to go. The only problem we've had is that once I get my super sport license and race a super sport bike, I can't go back mid-season.
To the junior,
So
really?
yeah, that's the main problem because I was gonna do both. Well, there was no way that was gonna happen with the money now because we had a sponsor not pull through at the start of the year.
Hmm.
But that's what they told us at the start of the year. We couldn't do both. That was the problem. We can't do two premier classes, even though Junior Cup doesn't even do the full season, which is really strange.
Huh,
But
I haven't heard of that.
but that's the whole thing because we want to race Pittsburgh, probably last race, make it count, just throw away the bike. We're gonna get rid of it by next year anyway. Just like everything's on the line, go for it, kind of
Yeah.
thing. And then if we can somehow get a bike sorted for Coda, then we'll race that, and that'll be our season. Because Coda is my home track. I'm 45 minutes away from here,
Oh, nice.
so I've ridden here probably most like than everybody, like all the other super sport riders. So I have a good feeling I can get a top 10 at least
Yeah.
here. Like I'll be good off the bat kind of thing. Because I've ridden a 400, 600, 959. I've ridden the V4 Ducati here. That was gnarly. That was crazy. I went like 205 on the back straightaway because I was only
Wow.
14 when I did it. So that was pretty gnarly. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully we get some people to pull through Ducati ride, and that'll be ideal scenario. We'll
Awesome,
see what
man.
happens. And we're gonna try to get outside sponsors as well. Um, because nobody does it in Moto America, honestly. Like I don't see anybody else trying really, except Kyle Wyman. He was the only person who got an outside sponsor to sponsor like a race team because he had the Panera Bread sponsor. Like everyone else is like a racing thing or whatever. Like we could try and hit up like local companies and that kind of stuff. We've been looking at Ghost Energy maybe because I love the energy drinks. They're so good.
Yeah.
Like that kind of thing. But we're just gonna throw it out there. And if they say no, they say no. Like nothing to lose.
Yeah, just look at it as look, we're providing a marketing service for you. This is all the people we can reach. It's a whole new demographic for you, rather than this is what I want. Can you give me this? Right? It's like you're providing them a service of marketing and hospitality at the races, and this experience for their employees, and all this type of business to business connections from blood lubricants and this energy drink company. Maybe they can work together in some way.
Yeah, that's the whole thing too. 'Cause Ghost Energy would be a good one to have because it's mostly like younger people at the races. I feel like because it's motorcycles, you're not going to see like a 70-year-old dude for the most part. So, but that would be a nice market for them too. And we're going to try and leverage our TV coverage because we're on like FS1, MAV TV, FS2, like, and a bunch of other ones I can't remember what the names are. But we're gonna use those like two things to try and leverage our way into a sponsorship kind of thing. Like, and that would be nice. And then I gotta hopefully show for it, and that would help a lot too if I got some results to show for it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, sounds like you got a lot of stuff going on. I wish you the best. And today's, August 7th, so I'll try to get this posted before the Pittsburgh round. I have 3 other podcasts I'm working on editing in the meantime, so I'll try to get them out
Okay.
fairly quickly here. When I do, I'll share it. Make sure you share it as well, so it gets as many eyeballs as possible.
Yeah. Sweet, dude. I might boost it too and make a post too, which would be nice.
All right.
Because that's what I've been doing too. I've been doing the Instagram boost and it's been helping.
Nice.
So
Very good. Awesome, man. Well, have a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. See you at the racetrack.
yeah, you too. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.